that have just reproached Jehovah's name, destroyed, never, ever to live again.
Okay, I want to stop the video right here. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? A lot of people might not have paid attention to what he said there, but what he said is very, very important. Hey, what's poppin'? This your boy Jay the Comedian. How y'all doing today? How am I doing? I feel terrific. Oh yeah, before I forget, this is an XJW video, so hit the like button so the YouTube algorithm can show it to as many people as possible. And also, don't forget, you're new here. You've never seen this beautiful face. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button so you can continue to see all this. All right, this is probably a terrible reason to hit the subscribe button. And today I want to talk to you about our loving governing body member, Brother Tony Morris, and how he has shown people how to truly be kind to one another. Now, you know, apostates out there like Lloyd, Mark, and Jason are the worst people out here just saying all type of hate speech and pointing out negativities inside the organization. And just all types of unsavory behavior online. Lloyd Evans, Mark O'Donnell, Jason Wynn or Winnie, I don't know how to pronounce it yet, public school education. Shame on you! Here our loving governing body member Tony Morris shows them how to speak about somebody who you may have a disagreement with. And with that said, take it away, Brother Morris.
Now, it's not that we rejoice in someone's death, but when it comes to God's enemies, finally, they're out of the way, especially these despicable apostates.
Jesus Christ, Brother Morris. Where's the Christian love, brother? All right, y'all, let's get to the video. Let go. I'll play dead again. Alright, so this video is about a talk that was recently given by Jehovah Witness leader and governing body member Brother Tony Morris. Now, even more recently, we've learned that Jehovah Witness activists Lloyd Evans, Mark O'Donnell, and Jason Wynn/Winnie, I still don't know exactly how to pronounce his last name, were named in the actual court setting by the legal counsel representing the Jehovah Witness organization as to have committed hate speech against the organization. Now, I want you to keep that in mind as you listen to this talk by Brother Morris. Just think about that when you're listening to the words, the tone, and the overall context of this video. Because all Lloyd, Mark, and Jason did was point out the shortcomings, hypocrisy, and pitfalls inside of the organization. But there's something else that Tony mentions in this video that if you're not really paying attention, you might miss it. So I really want to show you guys and focus in on what that is. Okay, so with that said, I would just like to put a disclaimer out there. This video is transformative in nature. So, Watchtower, you can take your copyright claim, turn it sideways, and shove it up your bunghole. Let's get to the video.
Gehenna was used for the disposal of refuse and carcasses of those deemed unworthy of burial. Fire would be a suitable means of eliminating such refuse. Now, this point, what the fire did not consume, the maggots would. Now, I don't know if you know much about maggots, but you see a whole bunch of them. It's just not a pleasant sight.
Okay, maggots? Really? You see, this is the thing. This isn't the first time Brother Morris really goes into a graphic, gross place when describing what happens to people after Armageddon. And the point that I really want to put out is that it's completely unnecessary. It's unnecessary to talk about what happens to the body once it's dead. Like, if your goal is to eliminate all the bad people, right? To eliminate all Jehovah's enemies, once they're dead, who cares about their flesh being eaten by maggots or burned or thrown into Gehenna? Like, who cares about any of that stuff? You know what I'm saying? And he constantly puts this graphic, gruesome image out, and I don't know why he does that. I don't see it. And not only does he do that, he does it in a way in which, if I'm being honest, he's kind of excited about it. Like, he's looking forward to seeing those things. Now, I have a problem with that. And trust me, I'm nobody's moral superior. But I still need to point out that practicing Jehovah Witnesses, you're better than that. I don't think you'd be that way. I don't think you'd see dead family members, friends, babies, children, toddlers. Like, I don't think you'll see dead, rotting, maggot-infested carcasses, and you're going to be like, yeah, Tried to told you, little baby. I tried to told you, but no, you still wanted that bottle. Like, I don't think you're gonna be like that. I don't think that you're going to enjoy that or look forward to that at all. I could be wrong. I don't think I am, though. But the point that I'm trying to make is, this is not cool. What happens to the body after you successfully won this war that's apparently coming, it's not cool to talk about in this setting, and it's not necessary. And also, the maggots that eat my body, they're gonna find me delicious. You know how much bacon I eat? These maggots are gonna be like, man, this dude is the bomb. Pass me that butt cheek. But seriously though, after Armageddon, right? And after everybody's dead and your body is no longer of any use, the life is completely gone, it's literally just a shell. It reminds me of like a cicada, right? When a cicada comes out of the ground, it's just a big nasty bug. And then back opens up and the bug itself turns into another bigger, nastier bug, and it flies away like a demon bat. Now, I personally think cicadas are around just to show women that they shouldn't date me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just looking for a guy that's strong and can protect me, who ain't scared of nothing. Oh, you looking for me then, baby, because that's me down to a T. I ain't scared of... Oh, is that a cicada? Hey, I'm not even embarrassed that I'm scared of cicadas. Them bugs is too damn big to be able to fly. And you and I both know this. But how ridiculous would it be of me to be scared or to desecrate the shell of the cicada after the cicada has already hatched, grown its demon wings, and flew away? Would that make any sense? Would I look good desecrating the shell of a cicada? Like, I'm gonna poop on this cicada. You know how good your knees gotta be to poop on a cicada shell? Not to mention the accuracy. But the point is, once the life is gone out of the body, there's nothing left for you to care about if that's your goal, to get rid of God's enemies. So why are you pointing that out, bro?
But what a fitting picture of the final end of all of God's enemies.
Let me just, for a second, play Jehovah's advocate. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's say that Jehovah really did exist and he loves all of us, and he loves us so much, right? And his children, the apostates or whatever, were really evil and deserving of destruction from Jehovah, right? Let's just say that's the case. Any Jehovah Witness with any knowledge of the Bible would know and understand, any Christian, you know, anybody with any significant knowledge of the Bible would know that this would not be something that Jehovah or God or whoever you believe in would take pleasure in. It's literally somebody killing their own beloved kids. So this isn't something that will be done happily. This isn't something that will be done enthusiastically. Like, this would be the hardest thing ever to do. No matter how bad you view us, no matter how horrible you think we are, this is not something that any actual loving God would take pleasure in. So if the God wouldn't take pleasure in it, why would he allow his followers to take pleasure in it? How can somebody who says that they're in God's organization and they represent God on earth, how can you even seem like you would take pleasure in the death of God's kids? How could that even seem good to you? Now, if you're asking me, I don't think anybody should be able to express that they are representatives of God and they have these type of views and feelings toward the enemies of God. There's nobody who should be happy about this.
Not a pleasant sight. But what a fitting picture of the final end of all of God's enemies. Sobering, yet something we look forward to. However...
Hey, you notice how quick you said that? Oh, this is going to be so sad and sobering. But we're going to look forward to it. Anyway, yeah, them apostates, they be always tripping. Yeah, he said it real quick. But you can tell he is looking forward to this horrible event happening on the planet Earth. I mean, he can't wait. And apparently he think his followers, they can't wait to see it either.
The apostates and the enemies of Jehovah would say, well, that's gruesome. That's despicable. You teach your people these things?
Yeah, because it is. I mean, you're giving a talk to a Jehovah's Witness congregation. Ain't there kids there? Yeah, you just out there just throwing that around like it's something cool to hear and stuff. Kids ain't trying to hear about people getting eaten by maggots. Are you kidding me? How do you not know this? This is the same person that will not let your kid watch a show because it has magic in it. But you think it's okay to just tell kids that they're going to see people getting eaten by maggots? Yeah, Johnny, you might see a couple decapitated people just laying around, but it'll be okay. It's fine. This is not the way you talk to children. This is not how you talk to adults. That comment is completely unnecessary.
Well, that's gruesome. That's despicable. You teach your people these things? No, God teaches his people these things. This is what he's foretelling.
Let me stop the video right here for a sec. Now, I want to just point out something to you. I've said this before, and I'm going to say this probably until the day I die. Jehovah Witnesses, you're not worshiping Jehovah. You're worshiping the governing body. Now, it's not your fault, okay? Look, don't turn the video off. I know you're apostate lie. I get it. Trust me. But just hear me out. I have a way to determine whether or not you're worshiping Jehovah or you're worshiping the governing body. It's three things. It's a three-part test that really any one of them should confirm it, but just try all three and let me know how it goes. Actually, don't try them. I don't want to get nobody in this fellowship. But here we go. Test number one. What would happen if you went to the elders at your local congregation and you were to say to them, I love Jehovah, I love Jesus. I will never stop following them and doing what they ask me to do, but I don't agree with this organization. Nowhere in the Bible does it say you need to be a Jehovah Witness in order to get into the new system. Not only does it not say that, it also says there's going to be a resurrection of the righteous and the unrighteous in the Bible. So that pretty much definitely secures that you do not have to be a Jehovah's Witness in order to get to the new system. Now, how will they treat you? Will they treat you the same way they would a disfellowship person if you leave the organization but you stay with Jehovah and Jesus? Test number two. Now, we all know from time to time there's been things that the Jehovah Witness organization has put out that turned out not to be the best thing. So they've needed new light. Now, this is something that no Jehovah Witness can really argue. Like, there's just been times where they flat out, they've gotten some things wrong. And most of the time people understand it because they're not even professing to be a perfect organization, right? So if they're not a perfect organization, and they put out something, can you question what they put out? Can you say, I don't think you guys got this one right? You might need to look into this a little deeper. I'm not going to follow that because I don't think that's right. I don't think that should be that way. Can you do that as a Jehovah Witness without suffering any repercussions? Calling Dr. Ferrulli. You're needed in room 1. Test number 3. Can you have a deep and logical back and forth conversation, sharing information, resources, and just really trying to get down to the most logical and reasonable explanation for all things with ex-members of the Jehovah Witness organization, with people who've left the organization and who want nothing to do with the organization? Can you have a long and deep conversation with those type of people without suffering any penalties? Are you kind of scared to do it? Do you feel like you've been pushed in a direction to whereas you don't want to hear anything anybody who's an ex-witness has to say about the organization? Just think about that, because in every court of law, you hear the defendant side and the prosecution side. You hear both sides. You don't get to hear just one side because you can't get to the truth by only hearing one side. You need to hear out both. If any of those answers point to a direction to whereas God probably wouldn't want you to agree with. If you believe in Jehovah, you believe in God, right? Would God want you to not listen to both sides to get to the truth? Would God really want you to not be able to question an imperfect organization? If they are indeed imperfect, then they need to be questioned on certain situations that could be possibly damaging to other people, especially when they've gotten stuff wrong before. If it's really God's organization, does it matter what organization you're a part of if you agree to worship God in or out of the organization? If the goal is to worship God, this should help you understand. They have taken God's identity and now they're saying that they speak for God. And when you can speak for God, technically you are God. You know, Scott Amini?
And frankly, for friends of Jehovah God, how reassuring that they're finally going to be gone. All these despicable enemies.
Oh, I think we started to really get under Brother Moore's skin. He is angry.
That have just reproached Jehovah's name, destroyed, never, ever to live again.
Okay, I want to stop the video right here. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? A lot of people might not have paid attention to what he said there, but what he said is very, very important, and I want you to notice this. What he just said, this causes so many problems inside of people's lives. This has destroyed tons of people's lives. And I'm going to replay it again so you can hear it again.
They're finally going to be gone. All these despicable enemies that have just reproached Jehovah's name, destroyed, never, ever to live again.
Did you catch it? Did you hear the tone and the context in which he used the words, bring reproach on Jehovah's name? Did you hear it? And I'm very glad that it was said on camera. I'm very happy that we have this on tape. And I hope somebody with some power can hear it, because now hopefully it will give you a visual understanding of what they mean when they say the words, bring reproach on Jehovah's name. Now, you say that in any normal court setting, it may go over your head, you may not bring any importance to it, because in a normal setting, that's not something you hear too often. And when you do hear it, it's not something that you really latch onto or put too much thought into. But when you're a Jehovah Witness and you hear the words, bring reproach on Jehovah's name, look at the context in which he used
They're
it.
finally going to be gone. All these despicable enemies that have just reproached Jehovah's name.
So yeah, to bring reproach on Jehovah's name means that you're worthy of death. It means that you should be destroyed and you should never live again. Does that make any sense now? Can you see that? This is why so many people who prey on children don't get reported to the police. Because when things happen inside of the organization, you're taught to take it to the elders first and let the elders take care of it. And probably to never call the police. Because when you call the police, you're bringing reproach on Jehovah's name. And of course, if you bring reproach on Jehovah's name, you're worthy to be destroyed. And of course, nobody wants to lose their life, so you don't do it. But I found this to be probably the most important part of this video. I really want people to lock in when he says this. How they look at people who bring reproach on Jehovah's name. This is how they get away with all the stuff that they get away with. This is why people don't call the police when bad things happen to them inside of that organization. Anyway, moving on.
Now, it's not that we rejoice in someone's death, but when it comes to God's enemies, fine.
You know he didn't mean it when he said that, right? Oh, we're not to celebrate people dying. He didn't mean that. He said that just because he had to. You see how he immediately went back to, we ain't celebrating it, but thank goodness. Party over here. Yeah, they did. Like, he's not supposed to be celebrating this at all. But he seems to be celebrating it to me.
But the wicked will perish. The enemies of Jehovah will vanish like glorious pastures. Particularly, they will vanish like smoke. So I thought this would be a nice memory aid to this verse stay in the mind. Here's what Jehovah's promising.
Cool, bro. That was a great visual memory aid to let us all know what's gonna happen to Jehovah's enemies. And I think it's only fair that I end this video with my own personal memory aid to let everybody know what I see whenever Brother Morris is talking. Oh! How can somebody as immature as me have kids? No, not again. Anyway, it's your boy Jay the Comedian. I hope y'all having a great time. I'm having a great time. Hey, and by the way, I got merch. Check in the description. Till the next video, please hit the like button. Please share. Please comment. Thank you so much for watching. Holla at your guala. Deuces. Hey, look everybody. I got a brand new lampshade. How was that? You're like, oh, your eyes got stuff in it. Anyway.
Wipe the coal out her eye.
See who's this paging me and why. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's one of the dimmest light bulbs I've ever seen.